Ready in 3, 2, 1, and...
What happens when you stop taking the Zepbound medication? What happens after you hit your weight loss goal? Do you just stop? I mean, just think about that for a second. That's actually what I was trying to do, as I shared with you guys in several videos before this one. I was trying to wean off of it. And I found it was kind of challenging. You know, I would take a dose one week and then skip a dose the next week and then take a dose. And granted, I'm on 5 milligrams, so I'm on the very low dose as it is. It wasn't so much as I was hungry as I was actually getting more sugar cravings coming back. I did share with some of you guys in some of my videos too how I was a sugar addict and, you know, lots of cravings, especially with chocolate and, you know, not really ice cream because, you know, I would do more like the almond, you know, the ice cream that's made out of almond milk or cashew milk. That's when I noticed on those off weeks is when the cravings would come back. Not with a vengeance. It really didn't come back in a really big way. It didn't really just come back like boom, boom. It was just, it crept back in there. And it's like there was this gnawing, nagging craving there on the edge. And it wasn't out of control, but it was enough to where it only became more under control when my week to get the injections would be fine. So talking to my doctor and actually to another doctor that I work with in the ER, I started asking him, have you heard of microdosing? Because I started hearing things about it and reading in the magazines, the journals that come to my house. And that's when I realized, wow, maybe I should do that. Instead of skipping a whole week, maybe I need to just do a lower dose instead. The doctor did say to me, yes, I had heard of microdosing, and actually I recommend that for my patients. So of course, full speed ahead, talked to my doctor about it, and he said, yeah, that will possibly be an option. I want to dive more into this because I don't know if you guys have heard of it and if it's something you would possibly want to consider instead of quitting cold turkey. Because cold turkey sometimes, you know, trying to stop it cold turkey will put your body back into a metabolic imbalance. So let's dive into that. Let's explore that a little bit more. Do you just stop? That's the million-dollar questions for so many people. Let's see the potential role of microdosing off Zepbound. Not just Zepbound, but Ozempic and any of the others. I use Zepbound because that's what I'm using and that's what I'm trying to, you know, wean myself off of. Now let's keep in mind, this is not how to start because we've already started. It's how to sustain and maintain once you've reached your weight loss goal. As of today, I'm 141 pounds. 141.8, I think it says. Anyway, I'll share the screenshot. But, you know, I'm down 37 pounds from April. I started out at 178 pounds. So to come this far and then to turn around and have my body betray me by going back to where it was before, because our bodies are metabolically made to stay at its highest weight. Wherever you usually are and your weight, wherever that highest point is, the body has a way of fighting back there. So if we're gonna maintain, we're gonna have to try to do something better to counteract that. So part one, the biology of weight gain. Why stopping cold turkey is hard. First of all, it's crucial to understand that obesity is a chronic medical condition. It's not a temporary state at all. Your body has a powerful biological drive to return to its highest weight. And this phenomenon is known as metabolic adaptation. When your body returns back to its highest weight. Hormones like leptin and ghrelin, these are the hormones that regulate hunger and making you feel full, you know, making you feel like you've had enough to eat. They shift to promote weight regain after you stop treatment. So these are the hormones that kick in and causes you to gain weight after you stop the medication. This is where the concept of ongoing medication comes from. It's actually standard in managing other conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes. If you're taking blood pressure medication, I mean, think about it. They don't tell you to stop your blood pressure medication after your blood pressure is leveled out. Or your diabetes medication, if your blood sugars are within maintenance, they don't tell you to stop because, oh, you're in control now. No, you have to continue taking that until there has been standard, a whole line of them watching your blood pressure, watching your blood sugar, and making sure you're in maintenance with or without the medication, but they will actually titrate you down off of those medications. They won't just stop your blood pressure medication cold turkey. They will titrate you down. Now, I have known patients to have gotten off of their blood pressure medication because, over time they didn't need it, and because of their healthy lifestyle, their eating right, exercising, they lost a lot of weight, and lo and behold, they don't need it anymore. But it didn't just quit, you have to titrate. So that's where the concept of titrating off of the Zepbound came from. Not exactly the way I was doing it, every other week, but a lower dose over time, and then eventually I can be off of it. So that's basically what my doctor's doing with me now. Instead of my 5 milligrams, because I started out with 5 milligrams from the beginning. And the first couple of weeks, I was so nervous about doing that 5 milligrams that I actually cut it in half those first 2 weeks. Because I kept hearing people saying, oh, you're gonna be nauseous. I was nauseated, I was vomiting, and I didn't want to go through that. So the first couple of weeks, I cut my dose in half anyway. I did 2.5 the first couple of weeks, and then I started the 5 milligrams. And I guess it was okay because I never really felt nauseous. Maybe once after taking the 5 milligrams, but it really wasn't bad at all. So I'm thinking there's something to this microdosing. So now that I'm weaning off, I have decided to follow my doctor's plan. Instead of doing the every other week injection, I've decided to go ahead and maintain with the 2.5 one week and then the 2.5 the next week, and then eventually come off of it. Because all of my numbers have gotten better. The LDL cholesterol, everything's better. I mean, all the way across the board. So that was the only thing I had problems with, was my LDL cholesterol. That was the lousy cholesterol that I teach you guys about. In my Know Your Numbers, Do You Know Your Numbers series, I have a video that talks about cholesterol and knowing the difference between the happy cholesterol, which is the HDL, which is the good cholesterol, and the LDL, which is the lousy cholesterol. You want to keep that number low. You want to keep all your numbers low, but that was the main one. So I'm happy to report all of my numbers are great. Thank God, and which I wasn't surprised, because anytime I lose weight, everything stabilizes. I've never had high blood pressure, thank God for that, or blood sugar, any of that stuff. But the cholesterol was the one I really had to keep an eye on, because all of that affects the heart, heart disease. So I didn't want to have any problems later on. Let's apply that same concept to Zepbound. The goal of a lower dose or a microdose is to provide just enough hormonal support to counteract those regained signals that will shift you into gaining weight, taking you back to your highest weight from before. The main idea is that you won't need the full powerful dosage that you needed in the beginning. In my case, was 5 milligrams, but I know it comes in like 7.5, and I think 10, and then 15 milligrams. Some people are up to the highest dose. So you want to try to, wean. If you want to wean off. Some people don't want to wean off, and that's fine. If it's working for you and you don't have to pay cash for it like some of us do, because my insurance didn't cover it, then that's fine. You're great. It's awesome that you have that opportunity to get it taken care of by your insurance. But some of us had to pay for it out of pocket, so it's not feasible. I mean, it is if you want to. You could spend your money on whatever you want to spend it on. I just choose not to continue spending it on it. I'll pay for the little microdose, or for it to last me longer, but eventually I'm going to wean off of it, because really your lifestyle should be taking care of your weight management and your maintenance. So eventually, if you can get into that. Now, like I said before, obesity is a chronic condition in a lot of people's health. So it wasn't at that stage in my life, you know, it didn't get to the chronic condition in my life. And if it did in your life, no judgment. You do you. You do what you got to do. More power to you, because if it did in my life, I would be doing the same thing. So, but fortunately now I'm at the maintenance where I feel like I can maintain it over time as I wean off. I'm claiming it because I'm going to keep doing my fasting. I'm going to increase the fasting to where I can have long-term effect. And then hopefully that will take care of the cravings altogether. Number 2, the evidence. What does the study say? Yeah, what does this clinical trials and the studies say about this microdosing? While the term microdosing is more common in other fields, the clinical trials for Tirzepatide, which is also known as Zepbound, they have directly studied maintenance therapy. I'm going to read this. It says, participants who took Tirzepatide for 88 weeks total, which is 36 weeks of lead-in of the Tirzepatide and 52 weeks of maintenance, they not only maintained their weight loss, but continue to see additional, though smaller, benefits. So crucially, this study and others that show continuing the medication helps us sustain improvements in cardiometabolic risk factors like blood sugar, blood pressure, and lipids. This suggests that a sustained lower dose could act as a protective shield for your new metabolic health, okay? This will help you maintain all the health benefits, including circulation and everything. So part 3, what would a maintenance dose look like? Okay, so here's an important disclaimer. This is a theoretical discussion for educational purposes only. I am not a doctor, and this is not medical advice. Dosing must be 100% managed by your prescribing physician. So anything I'm talking about in this video is definitely just for educational purposes. You definitely want to talk to your doctor, healthcare provider, whoever that may be, nurse practitioner, physician assistant. Talk to them about your specific dosing needs, because everybody's needs will be different, okay? So with that being said, in practice, a maintenance dose isn't actually an ultra low dose. Finding the effective lowest dose for you from your existing dose. Like say, for example, if you're taking 10 milligrams now, how is your doctor going to titrate you down to the lowest effective dose for you? Because maybe if you got down to 5 milligrams, that won't be enough for you for maintenance. You might need to remain on the 7.5. You and your doctor have to find that sweet spot for you and what will work for you and maintenance. That will keep the hunger, cravings, and all that stuff from coming back from you and creeping in and sabotaging all of your weight loss goals. As we all know, Zepbound ranges from as low as 2.5 milligram doses up to 15 milligrams. So yeah, you definitely have to find what definitely works for you and your specific needs. And you have to make for sure it is personalized, physician supervised titration. That's what you need. So what's the bottom line? The future of obesity medicine is moving towards long-term management. The concept of maintenance dose is supported by the chronic nature of the disease and by the emerging clinical evidence, okay? This is important, guys. It definitely is important to stay on top of that and to, just like they're saying they're maintaining you on blood pressure medication, some people have to take it for life. Blood sugar medication, you have to take it for life. Cholesterol, some people have to take it for life, which I refuse to take any cholesterol medications, so, or any other medication for that matter if I can help it. So if I have to stay on the Zepbound for a little bit longer until I manage, you make for sure the weight is there and my lifestyle is there, then fine. Because like I said, my insurance is not covering it. I'm out of pocket. So those of you who have the insurance covering it, and if you could stay on it for maintenance, and if you had that chronic obesity before, God bless you. Do what you got to do. you know, anything to maintain that health. That's basically what I wanted to say about that, that you don't have to feel guilty, because part of me was feeling a little guilty, like, well, you know, I said I was gonna stop it, you know, do every other week, and then I was like, yeah, I better titrate it a little better than that and use my doctor to help me do it the right way. So you don't need to feel guilty. You don't need to worry about the naysayers and all this stuff. Oh, you're taking a shortcut, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you're darn tootin'. I took a shortcut. And sometimes you got to take a shortcut. Anything that will help you, you know, because if everything else you've tried didn't help, well, then you try something that's going to help you. No judgment needed, because there's going to always be somebody judging you. You don't worry about that. You just do you, do the healthiest you possible, and don't worry about the naysayers, especially the little skinny minis who's been skinny all their life and never gained an ounce. You know, come on. I don't want to hear from that, you know? So you got to do what's healthier for you, you know? And if it means taking a shortcut with Zepbound or Ozempic, however you want to do it, you do you. And don't worry about those naysayers, because your health is more important. Like I've always saying, if you're healthy, you're wealthy. And because without health, you have nothing else. You can be a millionaire and don't have your health. And will your millions help you? No. Okay, so let's focus more on the health, guys, and don't worry about the naysayers, the judges, all those, because you're going to always have them. Whether you're doing it or not, no matter what you're doing, people are going to judge you. So if they're going to judge you, let them judge you for something you want to do that make you feel good and make you feel healthy and happy. So that's all I have to say about that. If you have any questions about anything I may have said, or any questions at all, you could take it to your doctor or put it in the comments below, send me an email, however you want to do it. But most of you have sent me questions in my email that really should have gone to your doctors, and what do I say to you? This is only my opinion. This is only for educational purposes. You need to contact your doctor. So I'm going to always refer you back to your healthcare professional, to your doctor, your nurse practitioner, your physician assistant, because they're the ones that know you best. They follow your care. They know your blood work. They know what you can and cannot do and what you can take. So let's be mindful of that, okay? And if you found this information helpful, please click like, share it. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I thank you so much to my many subscribers. I really appreciate you. You stick around, I will bring even more information. I've been finding out a few more things about Zepbound that I'm definitely going to share. I'm going to probably do another one. I haven't filmed the video yet, and I won't give the topic yet, but it's a good one. So I'm going to give a little bit more information on it. Zepbound is good. I mean, Tirzepatide, it's really good. It's good for the health, and it's bringing people back to the healthy side. So anyway, this has been Nurse Sabrina Clayton. I thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, if you're healthy, you're wealthy. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye. Is it recording, or
Yeah.
where should I stand?
Yeah, it's recording.
And the lighting's good, and
The lighting's perfect, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you're good right there if you're trying to show your whole feet where you were standing.
Okay.
Because I'm going to zoom it in because it presents better like from like the waist upwards. I know you want it like this for the beginning. Yep. So you're ready in 3, 2, 1, and action.
What happens when you oh shoot. I was so busy listening to you, I had too soon.
You want me to walk off after that?
Yeah, can you? Because in that way I can concentrate a little better. It's good lighting though, right?
Yeah. Perhaps.
He's like, perhaps. So right here, this is good. And then we'll zoom in.
Yeah. A little bit back.
A little bit back?
No, a little bit forward now.
Okay. What happens when you hit your weight loss goals on Zepbound? Do you just stop? I mean, just think about that for a second. How was that to start off? I'm just, okay, all right.
I'm
All right.
watching the camera, making sure everything's
And the everything's laid out just right?
good.
Okay.